Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Screen Scene Guru, and today I'll be discussing some new movie trailers that recently dropped, some movie news, and some comic reviews. So let's get into it. Starting off, we got our official trailers for both Masters of the Universe, which I'm very much looking forward to in June. And then of course we've got our maulshadowlord. This is the newest Star Wars TV series from Lucasfilm. Really anticipating that being very good. It starts in April and then streams on Disney Plus through May. So that's really cool. Going into the first trailer real quick, we've got Masters of the Universe. I thought it was a pretty good first look. Kind of curious about what the story would be, given that some of the movies taking place on Earth. They basically solved that in this first teaser trailer, so that's really cool. Like the costume design so far, I thought it was interesting. Going into the cast list real quick, we've got Nicholas Galzantine is going to play He-Man, so that's very interesting. I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff, but it looks like he's worked for Prime Video for a while, like 2 years. So he's been in some Prime things. We know, of course, Jared Leto as Skeletor is going to be very controversial given his accusations. We got Camila Mendes as Tila, which that's very nice. I like Riverdale, so anytime the Riverdale actresses are getting work is a good sign. Alison Brie as Evelyn. I haven't seen Alison Brie in anything. I do believe she's married to one of the Francos, the younger Franco, I believe, and they were in a movie called Together, which was a horror film. Heard about it, but I didn't see it. Idris Elba as the Man-at-Arms is probably what I'm rooting for the most. Really looking forward to this character, how they're going to portray him. He's basically going to be playing the same kind of character he was playing in Suicide Squad, a guy with gadgets. And then we've got, of course, Minora Barcelline as, let's see, what is her character called? She was just in Greenland 2 as well, guys. She's been in the Deadpool movies. What do they call her? Sorcerer. Okay. So yeah, she's a sorcerer. Going on, let's see, do we have any other? Goatman. Goatman's appearing. We knew we were going to get, let's see, any other characters that are known? Meh, not really. I mean, we got the actress from Agatha All Along, the witch that lived, the potion witch, appears in the movie. It looks like she plays He-Man's boss. So yeah, they got a decent cast for the movie, and I like to see Battle Cat. Battle Cat was cool. It didn't have its armor on, but there's a couple of characters that we've yet to see live action. So this is like total 80s vibes. This Masters of the Universe. They've been trying to make this movie for years, ever since the Dolph Lundgren 80s film, and I haven't seen the original, so might be a good time to catch up on that. But yeah, Minora Barcine is going to play the sorcerer, which is cool. Big role for her. But yeah, this is coming out, like I said, in June, I believe. June 5th is the release date. It's going to be directed by Travis Knight, who did Bumblebee, which I was a big fan of, with Haley Steinfeld, John Cena. He also did Kubo and the Two Strings, and something else I want to say too. What else did Travis Knight do? Real quick, let's look. So yeah, he did Kubo and the Two Strings. It looks like he's doing a movie called Wild Wood. It's coming out this year as well. He did Paranorman, so that was a good one. The Box Trolls, which I didn't see. He did a version of the $6 Billion Man. So yeah, Travis Knight's done some stuff. Pretty cool. So let's go into, real quick, maulshadowlord. I actually have, real quick, my Inquisitor lightsaber set, which is, it's two sabers. They connect to be a dual blade like Maul, but they actually have, if I have the little components for them real quick, these are the Inquisitor, I guess, like attachments that you can put onto your dual blade. You have to make sure it's like facing the right way because there's buttons on here. That's kind of got to click. So I'm going to go on the other side real quick. Nice. So like that. Inquisitor blade. And I could do the other side real quick. So they give you these little plastic attachments, which are kind of funny. Not exactly sure who designed that, but I mean, it's cool. I wish it would spin. You know, the spinny aspect would be pretty tight too. Add this on real quick. When you're adding them too, you gotta make sure it's like on right. Inquisitor blade. Yeah, pretty cool. I figured I'd whip that out real quick just to show off for the channel. Inquisitor lightsaber, which is pretty fun. With the Inquisitors returning for this Maulshadowlord series. Very interesting. We're getting Marok from Ahsoka, which she was defeated in the Ahsoka series. We're also getting the Seventh Brother, which has like sort of a plague mask, wearing a like a crow skull on his head, and he was an unknown species as well. When Ahsoka defeated him in Tales of the Jedi, he just kind of turned to dust. So, yeah, very interesting to see this show. It is taking place after Order 66. It looks like it's Maul's story. Let's go into it right here. Star Wars Maulshadowlord. It's an upcoming American animated television series created by Dave Filoni and the streaming service Disney Plus. It is a part of the Star Wars franchise, taking place after the events of the Star Wars Clone Wars. Follows former Sith Lord Maul during the reign of the Galactic Empire. So really cool story set up there. I haven't watched all of Visions yet. I need to catch up on Visions because I haven't finished season 2. And I didn't watch, what was it? Tales of the Underworld yet. And I believe there's 4 or 6 episodes. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, so I have a little bit to catch up on my Star Wars animation, but the graphics for this Maulshadowlord looks really good. Looks like the cleanest cut animation yet, so that's really cool. Looking forward to how that all comes into play. Real quick, read off some notes for you. Releases like Spider-Man, Dune 3, Avengers, Doomsday, and others are playing in theaters this year, guys, so I highly recommend you guys check those out. Recently, they started playing Mercy and Return to Silent Hill at my local theater, which is pretty fun. I might go see those. So I talked about this. On to my other side of things. The rumor is that Dr. Octavius will show up in Doomsday, apparently be fighting multiple villains. He's going to be apparently protecting Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So that's very interesting that we've got a rumor about Doomsday scenes. Rumor that The Mandalorian Season 4 is still happening after the events of the movie at Lucasfilm. So Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau might be encouraged now that Kathleen Kennedy has left the building. I mean, she's still there to produce 2 more projects, but essentially she's given over full reign, control over to Mr. Dave Filoni, so really cool. So that might encourage them to do more Mandalorian than what we thought. We thought we were just going to get the movie and it was done, but maybe not. So that's really cool. Jensen Ackles from Supernatural, he plays Dean Winchester, is talking about playing Batman yet again in a men's health journal. They're also saying that Batman could do this. He could play Jensen Ackles. I guess multiple people are saying that he's played the voice role for DC before in numerous animated pictures. So it would only make sense to get him to play in live action. The Madisons, really cool Yellowstone spin-off they're working on. There are actually 2 Yellowstone spin-offs, guys. Breaking news. There is The Marshals, which is premiering, I believe, let me look it up real quick. Because, yeah, I mentioned Maulshadowlord will premiere April, starting like early April through to May, like the beginning of May, right for May the 4th and May the 5th. So that's really cool. Let me look up real quick. Okay. It's like one of the first things that shows up on IMDb, which is crazy as shit. Boop. Oh, well, it went to the last one. Masters of the Universe is also #1 on their page. So let's just go through this real quick. Maulshadowlord is also #1 on IMDb, guys. We've also got Bridgerton Breakdown for Season 4. Okay. The Bride, really cool. Jessie Buckley is the bride. Love that trailer. Heel, haven't heard of this. The Night Agent is back, apparently. Okay. Let's go to Marshall's, because this is a big show I want to talk about. Okay. So, this is premiering this year in 2026. Ex-Navy SEAL Casey Dutton leaves Yellowstone Ranch to join Marshals, using his cowboy and military skills to fight crime in Montana while dealing with family ties and the mental toll of law enforcement. So very interesting, given that, now politically and, cross country might not be the right time to come out with a cop show. Taylor Sheridan's moving forward over at Paramount, and it looks really cool. It's premiering on March 1st. So if you guys have Paramount Plus, CBS, All Access, I definitely recommend you check out Marshals. This is the continuation of the Yellowstone saga. I didn't watch Season 5 of Yellowstone, Part 2, so I need to catch up on that. But yeah, really cool stuff here. Marshals coming out. And it looks to be a pretty sick show. I hope they get a Season 2 as well, if it does alright. But let me go into, after the Marshals comes out, there's going to be another show called Madison. So let me look that up real quick. Because it's another Taylor Sheridan show that he's doing for Paramount Plus. And yeah, so a New York family's life unravels after a tragedy as they process the grief while vacationing in rural Montana, exploring human condition amidst profound sorrow. So it's going to be one of those, more interesting emotional shows, talking about New Yorkers moving to Montana. Maybe there'll be a crossover with Marshals, with Casey. I mean, I don't know. That would be really cool, though, if they did a crossover. Because I heard rumors a while back that they are doing a Landman Season 3, despite the writing and some of the people's, critiques of the show. And I heard Landman Season 3 was going to have tie-ins to Yellowstone. So I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it would be really cool if it did. But yeah, what do you guys think of this show, The Madison? coming out in 2026. I do believe it's coming out after Marshall's ends, so it could be summer by the time it releases. And real quick, I do want to go into the cast. It's got Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman, the original OG. It's also got Patrick J. Adams from Suits, which is interesting. His career is coming back. Ellen Sharpman is in it, which is cool. We've got Kurt Russell, big name. So yeah, some really big actors in here doing it up for the show. Can't wait. So that's really cool. The Marshalls, and then the Madison, 2 Yellowstone spin-offs. Now going on, got a little bit more notes real quick. Talked about that. So Matthew Fox is in it, which we haven't seen him since Lost, which is really cool. Matthew Fox. It's the 5th entry in the Taylor Sheridan universe, guys. The 5th entry. So that's really cool. And yeah, like I said, on March 14th, just 2 weeks after Marshalls comes out, we get Madison. The EU is mad at the U.S. over a land grab, with the whole situation going on in Denmark and Greenland. So the country is kind of at odds for, what we do with this situation. I mean, a lot of people don't want to interfere with the sovereignty of Denmark. But of course, this administration is claiming they need to have it for strategic security. So that's going on in the World Davos, the World Economic Summit. Our president went there to meet with the people of Denmark. So that was very interesting. We've got a rumor. Let's see. On from here. Maxima is going to play a villain in Superman, Day of Tomorrow, or Man of Tomorrow, whatever they're titling it. Maxima is a villain that has been introduced in the comics before. Her species, apparently, they have to find the strongest male specimen to breed with. And in the comic books, she seeks out Superman. So it's very interesting that Maxima is going to play a role in Man of Tomorrow. So that's really cool. Kevin Feige is more focused on Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man 4 than the overall Marvel storytelling, apparently, coming from sources. Jeff Schneider actually revealed that Christinahodson will be writing Batman Brave and the Bold, which she's gotten a bit of critiques in her writing. She did write Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn solo film, which not a lot of people cared for. She wrote something else that I can't remember. I don't think a lot of people cared for. CBS News is going forward bringing the truth to people with UAPs, and when it comes to the disclosure topic. Talked about Masters of the Universe trailer dropping, Maulshadowlord, 2026 upcoming horror films. We've got quite a list, guys. We've got like 20 plus movies. Whistle is coming out. Looks pretty good with Daphne Keane. Send Help is coming out at the end of the month. Sam Raimi is returning. Scream 7 in February. Some people are hyped about Scream 7. Return to Silent Hill is already playing in theaters. Some people are going. I'm not sure if it's going to get a big box office draw. But The Bride, Undertone is happening. They Will Kill You. The Mummy. Apparently we're getting a new Insidious film at some point. We're not exactly sure what's going on there. They said they were working on 2 projects, but one would be theatrical and the other may be a TV show. So that might be cool. Invincible Season 4 dropped its first teaser trailer. And we got to remember, this is Seth Rogen doing it. So Seth Rogen is a big comic book fan, guys. He knows how to do animation. So don't count him out. Then we've got, let's see, what else? There's a little bit left. The Boys final teaser trailer has dropped on the internet. This is the final trailer to the final season of The Boys. So, pretty big stuff happening at Prime. There's actually a movie coming out with one of the Jonas Brothers' wives and Carl Urban. Looks like a pirate movie they're doing on Prime. That looks interesting. Can't remember the name of it, though. Fallout, this week's episode, had the big Ronperlman episode. Really badass to see Ron Perlman as a super mutant in the show. I wasn't sure if they were going to do a cameo of him, because he did do a lot of the voice roles for the game, and they did. So I'm very happy that Prime was able to put Ron Perlman in the show. I'm hoping this helps out his career very much. I think the last thing I saw him in was Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which was also on Prime Video, so he's got a deal with Prime. He's been talking about doing a Hellboy 3 for years, and now it looks like he wants to go ahead and do it. Really hoping for it. Let's see. Ryan Johnson now is talking about how he wasn't scared to do a trilogy at Star Wars like Kathleen Kennedy had claimed. He wasn't spooked. He just said that his scripts weren't taken seriously, apparently, after his Episode 8, Last Jedi, example was done. He apparently wrote 2 more scripts and gave them to Kathleen Kennedy. They were on her desk, and apparently she said no. So now, Ryan Johnson, this is, of course, the director of the Knives Out franchise, guys. Really great storyteller. I wasn't a big fan of Episode 8, just because of the things that were happening in that film. But I do recognize that he is a good storyteller, and I hope that Ryan Johnson could come back to Lucasfilm to do more projects. We've also got, real quick, as far as like the boxing kind of cinematic fighting news, we heard that Adam 22 was going to fight Jason Love in a boxing match, and it only lasted like 40 seconds, guys. It was ridiculous. Probably one of the most craziest matches they put up on the internet since the Logan Paul Tyson fight, and it was completely ridiculous. He was fighting for his wife, who is a adult film star, and Jason Love had already been with his wife, so I don't really know why they put this fight together. And it just totally made him look like a fool, Adam 22. Hoping that, they go somewhere with this. Maybe they can get into sports. Who knows? Definitely Jason Love can, because he won that round. Harry Styles has a new album dropping, which is very cool. Joji has a new album dropping in February. So if you guys are big fans of Joji from YouTube, he was Filthy Frank. He is coming back. So really cool stuff there. There's a whole lot more news, guys, but I'll leave it right there for you. I do want to do real quick a comic book review. So I will show off my X-Files comic. This is from season 10. So this is after the show ended. Issue number 20. So really cool stuff here. Show off a bit of Mulder going into a pot store, which is nice. The FBI, even they have to test out some of the merchandise from time to time. He is led to this store believing that there is some kind of chemical substance being introduced to the American population that is titled this G23. So very interesting that he went to this local head store trying to find out what is going on. He essentially starts experiencing hallucinations at the store, which then makes him go on to a fever trip. Not exactly sure if someone slipped him something or not, because he's asked if he wants to partake, and he says, "I can't, I'm working." So, but then of course he goes on to have this trip with Red, who he recalls to as Agent Scully. She's in a very nice trench coat, apparently harassing witnesses until she blows their head off. and then she appears to transform, which is very interesting. Weird, trippy stuff like that happens a lot in X-Files. And then, of course, he wakes up with them on the road, and then her erratically dancing on top of the car. So that's cool. Nice one for Scully. And then, of course, the cars continuing to go, and then they actually start going into details about Mulder's father, which was really cool because we never really heard about Mulder's dad in the show. They never really give you a glimpse of like what his story was, but they actually tell you, your father was a man of secrets and convictions. You know that to be true. Unafraid of what he thought he had to do, unflinching when the time came. It was he who dispatched to deal with the first time, the so-called Project G23. Got out into the wind and water. My father did what he had to, and that included paying an exorbitant, terrible price for his accusations, privilege when it came to the secrets of the privy, along with the actions he took and the impossible, dignified way borne the consequences. So basically, the dad was like trying to cover up this base where they had like a leak of material. So that was very interesting to find out about. We also get to see this hippie who's picked up by a spaceship. Very interesting. And a government agent who was waiting for him. So that's cool. Going on, we get to see apparently the dad was part of an effort back in the day to give Earth back to the original aliens who inhabited it underground, and the government prevented that. So that was very interesting as well. Talk about things that his dad did that the government disapproved of and led to him ultimately getting fired. Then we get to see Mulder's figuring out what is the compound G23, and then he is surrounded by aliens. It's very interesting stuff. He's tripping out. And then, of course, a group of young kids find him disoriented by the crash site, or by the explosion area, which has now become a historical monument to basically the fact that we shouldn't be storing chemicals in middle of the desert. But these kids basically are coming across Mulder when he's like crashed out. Scully runs over to him and says, "Oh, we need water." The hippie van shows up with the hippie, which is really cool. They all meet back up at one spot. And this is after they've been on the extraterrestrial superhighway with the black mailbox. So that's really fun. And then at the end, we get to see the smoking man talk about how this really does bring out the worst in people. G23. And G23, we find out, is essentially alien DNA that they put into cannabis, that they know the American population is continuously consuming more and more each year. And so the government's plan to basically make people docile and more conformative is to spike the product with G23 alien DNA, which I thought was very interesting. It ties back to the season finale of X-Files, which was on, I think, Hulu. Not a very good season, which was basically alien virus being introduced, UFOs showing up, and then you don't know if it's a government or if it's real. But very fascinating. I thought it was a really fun read. If you guys are interested, this is season 10, issue number 20. So really cool. This is my second X-Files comic I've read. Be sure to leave a like, comment down below what you guys' thoughts are on the movie news. Be sure to support my channel on Facebook, Threads, TikTok, Instagram, if you would be so kind. Would very appreciate it. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe. I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Bye-bye.